So I'm here to tell you how the Apple Mini M1 ruined my life. And if you think that's a big exaggeration, well, yeah, of course it is. That's because everybody exaggerates, don't they, on YouTube? Now, I don't normally make this kind of video where I assess a piece of kit. I'm more into making very poor fictional videos and some quite good musical videos for friends. So I'm coming at it from quite a different point of view. So if you're looking for this technical assessment with lots of numbers and figures and comparisons, then this is not for you. If you're looking for something where actually you may not have thought of other things, then this could be for you, because maybe I've made the mistakes that can help you. Or not. Let's find out. For my friends who are watching this, don't get worried. This is not going to get terribly technical. It is, however, hopefully going to be quite interesting. So let's start at the beginning. I first got involved with Apple back in 2002. I then had quite a long history of using Apple computers over the years, and the last one I bought new was my old iMac 2011. And that served me very well over the years, but it wanted to put more and more different effects on there. And these effects were quite complicated, and as it turned out, my computer was too old to use them. I needed to update to a more modern operating system. So last April I splashed out on a newer second-hand iMac, 27-inch of course, and this enabled me to download some special effects for my video editing on Final Cut Pro. And I was thrilled to bits, at least for a while. In making for music, I do make some fictional ones which are longer, but the music ones are generally between 1 and 5 minutes in duration, and the most of the ones I make are 1 minute. They're sort of promo music videos for the longer songs, and therefore they require quite a lot of input and effects and so on to make a more dramatic effect, because you have less time to do that. Now, that's what really encouraged and inspired me to get more and more effects and layer them up so that you know, the end result would be quite dramatic. Then I ran into a problem. It's a problem that most Mac users and computer users generally, when working with video, know about. It's called rendering. It's like a mini death, really. It's like you do something and then you just wait for, you know, hours or days and for it to finish processing. And the software crashes all the time, or seizes up. And so in the end, I was getting really fed up. And but then last November, everything changed. Apple brought out their new chip, the M1. But not only did it go in their very expensive computers, but it also came in a box for which you required a monitor for a reasonable price, for Apple certainly. And it seemed to answer all my prayers. And I just thought, I was so excited, I can't tell you. Anyway, so I thought I would like to buy this, but I watched hours and hours of footage on YouTube and since then too, since last November, and there's been a lot of footage. Most of it discussing why it drops out on Bluetooth, and then there's the ones that say, oh, it's so fantastically quick on video editing and stuff, and it's mind-blowingly beating everything else out of the water. And I thought, oh, and I got excited. But I spoke to my son-in-law and said, you know, is this? He said, it's a real deal. I thought, oh, I need this. I need it, you know. And so I thought, I can just about afford it and I need it, so I'm going to buy it. And that's the start of the problem. So I ordered it. Now, I didn't go to Apple because that would be easy and that would be my normal route to order from the manufacturer. But my daughter's always saying to me, you must order, you know, from other people where you can get a discount and so on. And I thought, okay. So I found a company that was offering it £35 under the Apple price, so I went to them. And they seemed to intimate to me that it would be with me within days. But then when I got the confirmation of the order the following day, it said Apple products normally arrive within 2 weeks of ordering. And I thought, oh, great, so we're going to be weeks away now. Anyway, the next day there's this buzzer on my door, which from the main door downstairs, not from my flat door, which I answered because I'm a reasonably polite person. And I said, hello, and they said, hello. I said, yes, can I help you? And they said, got a parcel for you. And I went, oh, right, okay. Well, I'll buzz you in and you can leave it downstairs. I can't do that, sir, he said. I've got to take a photograph of your foot with the parcel. And it's the first time I've ever been asked for that, and I don't know what's behind it. But anyway, I went downstairs and he took a photograph of my foot beside the parcel, and I picked up the parcel, which seemed rather heavy. I was expecting some power cables, and I took it upstairs. Now, I've got to backtrack a bit now because after I'd ordered the Mac, I needed to find a monitor because I thought I couldn't use either of my Macs as they were. So I remembered that I had a monitor that I'd used for a couple of weeks, which I'd bought 5 years ago, and I even found the invoice. It was 200 quid, so not a cheapie. Anyway, I managed to find it in one of my cupboards, and I dug it out, and I was feeling really good until I opened the box. The monitor was there looking all nice and clean, but there was no stand for the monitor, and there was no power cable for the monitor. Anyway, so I searched high and low, and eventually the following morning I found the stand in my empty printer box, because where else would it be? And then I ordered a power cable. Meantime, the following day, which is the day after I'd had the confirmation from the company about the Mac, that parcel that I brought upstairs was indeed the Mini Mac M1. So I thought, I can't believe this, but now I've got to wait for the power cable, which I wasn't expecting. I had a secondary problem, which was the monitor doesn't have a huge array of ports on it because it's 5 years old, and it didn't have a lightning or a bolt lightning port on it or anything. So my only option was an HDMI port, so that's what I went for. I unboxed the Mac, which, as there was only the Mac and a cable in the box, was not a really interesting event, so I haven't filmed it for you. But I know these things are very popular on YouTube for some bizarre reason. Anyway, so I unboxed it, and I looked at it all, and I thought, right, I'm going to put it all together now, and I did. I put it all together, and I plugged it all in, and it started up, and I was in seventh heaven. I was so happy. I haven't been that excited since I had sex for the first time, and this lasted longer, like quite a way. Anyway, so after I'd calmed down, after all the excitement, I knew that what I had to do was to try out the audio. I'm making music videos, so I needed to hear that. And this was the really rather disappointing result of all of that. A really horrible sound, I think you'll agree. Fortunately, especially when you consider that most of what I'm doing is making music videos, so having to listen to that tinny sound while I make a video is really not an option. But whilst I was digging around looking for power cables and everything else, which I subsequently found, I noticed a couple of old PC speakers that I used to use, and I thought I'd give those a try. And it's not perfect by any means, but actually, pro tem, it's fine. It's not going to win any awards for high fidelity, but it's a lot better than listening to that really tinny sound of the Mac Mini M1, which is one of the main problems I have with it, but I have a bigger problem than that. As you know, my sole reason really for buying the Mac Mini M1 was the speed of video editing, rendering, processing, etc. So I duly downloaded all the effects that I'd bought over time, some of them quite recently, to put onto video. And then I went to give it a quick go. And of course, what happened was that the effects do not work. And the effects do not work because for once in my life, I've now moved ahead of the game. So all the effects, 90% of the effects I have do not work because they're not optimized for the latest form of Mac chip and processor. So, in other words, at the moment, people are running around all over the place, the suppliers of these effects, trying to make them work with the new Mac and the new chip. I don't know how much success they're having, because there we go, look, you can see that on the screen. That means there's an effect showing that isn't working, and I have so many of them. And when you think the sole reason I actually bought the Mini Mac was to speed up the rendering of special effects, and now instead of being able to speed up the rendering of special effects, I've lost them all. So my sole reason for having the Mini Mac has now disappeared. So it's like a useless pile of junk to me, really, at the moment. Hopefully in the not too distant future, certainly hopefully before I die, but bearing in mind how old I am, that's maybe unlikely, they will sort this out, and I will have access to all these wonderful effects, and I will be able to use them very quickly, and they will take the rendering time down to almost nothing. But at the moment, I either have to go back to my very slow Mac over there and put up with all the delays and the impatience, or I just don't use many effects. So there we are. So this is why and how the Apple Mini has ruined my life. Thank you for listening, and please don't make the same mistake. Oh, and if you're interested, in the spring I'm thinking about buying a drone, and I might make a video about that, if I don't crash it, and if, well, 100 things don't happen. Anyway, that's all from me. Bye for now.